Hi everyone! Welcome to COM 212 Interpersonal Online. My name is Megan Orchowski and I am your friendly neighborhood professor here. I wanted to make this intro video on this first week to kind of get you acquainted to the course and introduce you to me. And then if you have any questions, I can answer those in other videos that come in the future, but I thought this would be a good start. So welcome to class. Like I said, my name is Megan Orchowski, but everybody calls me Mizzo. All my students have always called me Mizzo. I used to coach high school competitive speech or forensics, and they had to call me by my last name, Miss Orchowski. Which was so long and tedious, and so we shortened it to Miss O, and so they would call me Miss O. Hi, Miss O! And then when I got to graduate school, a friend of mine ran it together, Mizzo. She would say, I'm just going to call you Mizzo. So that's what everybody calls me, M-I-Z-Z-O. And that way you don't have to call me Professor or Chowski, or please don't call me Doctor because I'm not one. And if you want to call me Megan, you certainly can. I just think Mizzo is a cooler, better teacher name. So that's what I go by. My background is that I went to undergraduate at a small private liberal arts college near Chicago. And my degree was a joint degree in comm and theater, so I have a background in performance. And then I floated around the suburbs for a few years, got a real job, did a bunch of stuff, fell in love, fell out of love, and then ended up in graduate school at Mankato, Minnesota. And that's where I focused more on communication studies, although I still did focus in performance. My master's thesis was a performance thesis and made sure to craft a lot of performative things into my degree. So yeah, I'm really interested in performance studies, which is where comm and theater meet and they have a socially active baby. And then I started getting interested in gender. So my area of specialty is performance, gender, but I'm very passionate about public speaking. And have studied a lot of culture, a lot of identity, a lot about education or pedagogy. So those are kind of my areas. So I've never officially taught an interpersonal class before, but a friend of mine said to me, this is what you were born to do. You're going to love teaching this class because it's life. It's what you do every day. So I'm really pumped to be teaching interpersonal for the first time. And I'm teaching both this course online and then an in-class section. So you'll see sometimes how those are going to overlap, and I'll get into that a little bit. A little bit about me. So after graduate school, I went and taught at Concordia College in Moorhead, Minnesota for 5 years. And I taught there and coached the nationally ranked speech team. I can say that because they were nationally ranked before I got there, and they're still nationally ranked. Woo woo. So I've been coaching speech and judging and competing for 19 years, at least. And so that's a big passion of mine. And then I left Concordia and this fall started working at Valley City. So this is my second semester and my second time teaching online. So that's pretty exciting. A new thing for me. I'm hoping to improve greatly on the online class that I taught in the fall. So really, really excited to get better at doing that. Really continuing to create a classroom or a cohesive space online, which is difficult to do, I think, as someone who's used to doing it in a classroom 2 to 3 times a week. So, some things about me. I still live in Moorhead, so I commute to Valley City. I bought a new car. It's an Acura 2010. She's a spaceship. I call her Spaceship Mina because Mina means mine in several languages. My favorite food is shrimp. My favorite color is purple, the passion color. I have a weakness for soda, and I love cop shows. I live in an apartment with my partner and my 2 cats, Titus and Apollo. Apollo was up here rubbing me and cuddling me, and then right as I started making the video, he peaced out, so maybe he'll make an appearance later. And so the best way to get a hold of me is email. That's, I think, the easiest and best way. You certainly can post stuff in the discussion boards so that everybody can see and I can answer it there. If I haven't, if I've somehow missed it, feel free to email me and give me a nudge. But I do have an office on campus. So if you're on campus and taking the online course and you want to come visit me, you're more than welcome. My office is in McFarland, 204 in that area. It kind of feels like you're intruding. You enter in and the floor creaks. You're in the right spot. You're not intruding. Come on in. My office is back on the left, and there's dishes outside my front door, and then my front door has my name on it, and it's exploded with like feminist art and stuff like that. So if you see Fiona Apple's face, you're in the right spot. Come visit me. My office hours are posted up on Blackboard. But the best way is just make an appointment. Just let me know you're coming and I can make time for you whenever is convenient for you. So that's the best way to get a hold of me. That's who I am. If you have any personal questions for me and you want to get to know me more, definitely ask me. I'm happy to talk to you and communicate with you and let you get to know me so that you know who's running this course behind the computer screen. A little bit about the course. I don't have a course calendar up. You may have noticed that. And I'm going to walk through the syllabus here really quick, but I am still putting some finishing touches, if you will. And when I put the course calendar up, which will hopefully be over the weekend, it probably won't be the whole week. So I'm working on picking and choosing which assignments I'm going to commit to. I did a lot of research, emailing people for syllabi, talking to people about their experiences, if they've taken an interpersonal class, what they loved. And so I'm still refining a lot of that stuff before I give it to you. I thought we could spend the first week or two really reading and getting into what interpersonal is. And so kind of doing that. And then, of course, doing the selfie introductions and getting that stuff up. So if you have any suggestions about what you want to see in the course, I would happily take it. You can email it directly to me, or I also have a thread I know some of you have seen up in the discussion board. Online, and so feel free to post it there. I really want this class to be enjoyable and educational. So I get the feeling that sometimes online classes are sort of treated like, well, I do the minimum, I post when they tell me to post, I fill out the things they ask me to fill out, and I watch the videos, kind of. And I really would like this class to be more than that. I want you to enjoy the material, and I want you to like the assignments. I know, what? Mind-blowing. Enjoy a college online class. But I want to try to make it happen. So I'm going to a lot of extra efforts. I'm making a Facebook group. I invited you tonight to that. And so hopefully you'll join that. If you don't have a Facebook profile, please make one just so you can have access to that material. It probably won't be formally, there won't be like, you have to post this many things for this many points, but rather it's a tool that we can all engage in the class more. And since I'm teaching 2 sections, both sections will be included in that group. So, if somebody in the in-class one wants to share something, you'll also be able to see it and vice versa. So I'm really excited. I think that's a great way to share that kind of stuff. I've done it in other classes, and I actually, the first time it ever happened, the class started doing it in a group they were all a part of that I wasn't even a part of without telling me. So when people are really engaged in the material, they just do it on their own accord, and that's really what I want to support. If you want more on my teaching philosophy, please go read my teaching philosophy on Blackboard. It's Alanis Morissette's You Live, You Learn, and that's truly how I feel about education. Super passionate about teaching and about education. It's what I feel I do best, so really pumped about that. I want to walk through the syllabus really quick, so if you want to pull that up and follow along, feel free to do that. We won't be using a traditional textbook for this class. We'll be using a lot of online resources, OERs, basically articles, things I'm finding, and I'm kind of putting together a conglomerate for this class. Part of that is so you don't have to buy a textbook, and part of it is because there's so many resources that I feel some of those are even better or more flexible because we can kind of create that to what works for you, right? What best serves you in the course. Lots of application stuff, so really pumped about that. It'll all be up on Blackboard. There's a small chance that we might read a book together later in the class, but you'll get plenty of warning before we decide to do that, and we'll probably even, talk about it or narrow the books together. And so you might be responsible for getting a hold of that, but hopefully it'll be in plenty of time to either order it or buy it or rent it from a library. I run every class I teach as a safe space. So what that means is all perspectives, no matter your social standing, are welcome. So it doesn't matter your age, race, class, gender, sexual preference, religion, able body or disabled body, whether you've read Harry Potter or not, whatever your social standing, you're welcome to express your opinion, and we are going to be respectful of each other. I established that because our world is often not safe for certain groups of people, depending on where you are and how you are. An example, I think, is that in this area of the world, being Christian is a safe thing to be. And it's not always safe to be Muslim. I think we have examples of that if you identify as Muslim or present as Muslim, you can be in actual danger, not only physically, but also emotionally. Just Google some of that and you'll see some really horrible things online. Whereas in other parts of the country, or the other parts of the world, that's different, right? You might be absolutely safe being Muslim and not safe being Christian. So, this space, and I know I can't change the world, but I work very hard to create all perspectives that are at very least safe. Now, that may not be comfortable, especially if you're used to being safe other places. So if you reside in a lot of the majority categories, so for gender, it's usually male. For race, it's usually white. Able-bodied. For religion, like I said, it's Christian. And in this part of the country, Lutheran specifically. It can be uncomfortable to hear other perspectives you're not used to. So, and remember, hearing another perspective is not an immediate violation of yours. So we work very hard to hear those perspectives and to be respectful. I make a big deal out of that because I want to have really awesome discussions, and that can be especially hard on computer-mediated communication. And so want to just make sure that the safe space is not to discourage discussion. It's actually to encourage it and to be respectful while you do it. If there's any questions on that, please let me know. I have a thing in there about communication in general. So you're in college, and from my experience, not only being in college, but also teaching college students for the last 8 years, life's gonna happen. So sometimes I get a little real on this part, but when I was in college, my dad died while I was in college. I parented a behaviorally challenged 15-year-old. What else? I was diagnosed with an anxiety disorder at one point, and also I had a boyfriend, and we went through hard times, and I got in fights with friends. And so, everything from little things like not sleeping to big things. Life can happen, and it can impact your schoolwork. And so if something's going on and you want to tell me about it, I really want to be here for you as a resource. Now, from my experience, when your life falls apart, the last thing you want to do is email your teacher. Usually the idea is keep it together, don't let anyone know, but that often doesn't work. And usually what happens is about 2 weeks before the semester's over, I get an email or a visit with panic, like, this has been going on all semester and I haven't told anyone and my life is hard. It's like, oh, I wish you would have told me. I could have tried to be helpful to you. So let me know if anything's going on, even if it's just a quick email. You don't want to give details, but like, I'm dealing with some personal stuff and that's why I'm struggling. I want to be a resource for you, and then also to connect you to other resources if you need them. Finally, a bunch of policies on that second page of the syllabus. Don't cheat. Don't do it. I mean, the biggest reason not to cheat and plagiarize is academic integrity, morals. You want to be a good person. But the other big reason I don't want you to cheat is that if you cheat, my life sucks. I have to fill out paperwork, and I hate paperwork. Have I made myself clear? I hate it. I have to turn you in. I potentially have to fail you in the assignment, maybe even the class. It's very stressful for me. It's very emotional. I'm like, why did you do this in my class? I hate it. I just hate it. So don't cheat. And I'm talking about the malicious, like I purposely stole material and I used it as my own and I knew it was wrong and I did it anyway because I was scared I wasn't going to get a good grade. Oh my gosh, just talk to me instead. Don't cheat. Don't cheat. Are we clear? Um, Now and the other reason not to cheat is this is an application-based course. It's harder to cheat than it is just to engage in the material and try to articulate your own thoughts. So all the tests, I don't even call them tests, I call them celebrations of knowledge. They're all open note, open book, open heart, everything. And so it's really about applying your ideas. It's a lot more difficult to violate the integrity policy than it is just to engage and do your own work. So do that. The other type is sort of accidental plagiarism, right? Like, oh, I didn't know if I was supposed to quote this, or I didn't know if this was ethical or not. On that stuff, stuff happens, and I'll help you through it, right? You're in the safe space of a class, but absolutely ask questions if you're curious whether it violates academic integrity or not. Turn your assignments in on time. If it's late, it will probably lose points. But I want you to turn everything in because you can't pass the class unless you've done all the major assignments. And also I want you to pass the class. So even if you're getting 50% points, at least it's something. And so unless you've totally given up and you plan to fail the class or drop out, I mean, let me know then. But it stresses me out when you don't turn your work in. It really does, because I care about you. I don't even know you yet, and I care about you. You're my students. So turn your stuff in. Again, if something's going on or you're late, email me, let me know, communicate with me. This is life. So I want you to be doing that. And it's an interpersonal communication course. So interpersonally communicate with me about what's going on. So I talked about the class just in general, how excited I am about it. You'll be seeing more things coming within the next couple of days. There'll be a video about that chapter. Hopefully you've read the chapter and have your selfie intro up. I know some have been posted, but if you haven't done that, get that up. Finally, the class works weekly. So if you can conceptualize it, how we start Monday during the day, and then it's like you go all week, so you read and work all week, and then things, unless otherwise noted, are due Monday morning at 2 a.m. So think Sunday night at midnight. So Monday during the day, all week until Sunday at midnight. But it's actually Monday at 2 a.m. because you've got 2 extra hours. I don't like making things due at midnight because it's confusing which midnight. Sunday midnight is Sunday before or after all of that. So I make it clear by making it the next day, 2 a.m. And that way you can aim for midnight, and if your computer crashes, computers are tricky beasts, so if something happens, you've got 2 bonus hours, and you can kind of email me and let me know. And then if you think of it, okay, it's due at 2 a.m., and then that next day on Monday, we start over and we do the material for the next week. And so once you get a syllabus and it's set up, so this last week was week 1, and you've already gotten the readings and the assignment, the selfie intro for that. So that's how I do assignments and things due and the course content throughout the week. I think that's about it. I'm really pumped to teach this class. If you have any questions, please let me know. Get your selfie intro up and make sure you're reading everyone else's, because we all want to know each other and really have an idea of who each other is in this class. And like I said, I'm happy to answer questions if you email me or put them on the discussion board. And then finally, go ahead and email me or post on the discussion board things you want to see in the class. I'm super interested in critically crafting it with you and getting ideas from you while I put final touches this weekend. So super excited. Let me know if you need anything. Mizzo, signing out.